Marla Mabrey is a young, very religious girl who comes from Virginia, who is contracted under the eccentric billionaire Howard Hughes to become a Hollywood star. And she comes under the assumption that there is a specific set of rules that young women must abide by within the entertainment industry to be successful. And it's throughout her journey in Los Angeles, throughout the important lessons she learns and her relationship with Frank, who is also a contracted driver under the Hughes Corporation, how she, throughout her experiences, really realizes that the rules don't apply to everyone. And it's about their interactions with the craziness of Mr. Hughes. I think it's interesting because at the beginning of the story, Marla really, she comes to Los Angeles with her mother. She's quite naive. She's very religious. And she kind of thinks she knows it all, which, by the way, I think anyone at that age coming to LA probably would have thought the same thing. But throughout the story, throughout the lessons that she learns and through her relationship with Frank and her interactions with Howard Hughes, she really becomes a strong and independent woman. And it's throughout those experiences that really define her character as strong. Alden is so lovely. He honestly is such a kind, lovely human being and so extremely talented. It's funny, we grew up both in Beverly Hills and our moms knew each other and we had a very similar group of friends, and yet we never met in all those years. And then finally it took Warren putting us together in a room for us to be like, oh my God, finally, I'm finally meeting you. It's nice to meet you. But he was just a joy to work with, and we really went through a lot together on this experience, and it was so lovely to have him as a sounding board and a real support system. I would constantly get the note from Warren to let go more. And it's not something that I've never been told before, so I was very hyper aware of it when he said it. And I just didn't quite realize how useful and almost kind of magical things can get when you just let go. And especially when you're doing take after take after take, you start to have to just relinquish all self-control in a way and really stop thinking so much about what you had planned to do. Even as an actor, I know that it's all in those spontaneous moments, but you do kind of have a bit of a guideline of where you're going. But once you get to that, fifth, sixth, seventh take, you have to start playing around in ways that you weren't even expecting. And it's in those moments that sometimes the most brilliant moments that would never have happened had it just been on take one would happen. And so I think I'm always going to take that with me. I think it's probably more of a self-imposed rule that growing up, I always felt that I almost had to keep it together all the time, to keep a composure all the time, to have all my ducks in a line all the time. And as an actor, again, like with the note that Warren had given me about letting go, you just sometimes are naturally not going to be in control all the time. And I think once I realized that that was a rule that I was putting on myself and that I could just discard, the world opens up. All of a sudden, these more spontaneous, magical moments can happen, whether that's in your daily life, whether that's at your job. I mean, even when in your relationship with yourself, it's something so important to know that it's okay not to have to be perfect all the time.